Okay guys, what I have here for this video is a little bit different. It's something I've been wanting to do for a while, but today I am actually going to be going over all of the custom guns that I have made. And I'm not talking about ones that I've brick built, such as this Maxim gun right here. No, I'm talking about the ones that I've actually had to cut off parts and glue parts together and then paint them all myself, which most of you already know that I paint my own guns, or majority at least. But yes, I'm just going to go over the custom ones I have. I'm going to talk about them. So first, I'm going to go with this right here. So this is an LS26. They are Finnish, Finnish light machine guns. They have a 20 round detachable curved box magazine, which I'm just using a minifigure hand for right now. And they have a pretty large front barrel and barrel shroud, as well as a compensator, which I'm using this this part cone piece for, and then of course attach a bipod to that. And then the original base of this was actually a Star Wars full-length blaster, and I cut off the scope. And so I did that, and I shortened, and I just put all these on, and now I have an LS26. I'm gonna set that just right over here. Next up is going to be my newest addition. This is what is called an AVS-36. They were essentially the first Russian battle rifle. Most of you, I assume, if you're a history nerd at least, know about the Fedorov Automat. This came after that. This is chambered in 7.62 by 54R, which is essentially the exact same as 7.62 NATO, which is the equivalent of the American 308 cartridge, excuse me. Oh, and this is chambered in 7.62 by 53R, which is the finished copy of the Russian 7.62 by 54. But this is also chambered in 7.92 by 57 Mauser, which is what most, Kar 98s and FG42s and machine guns carried. Anyway, yes. So this one, like I said, 7.62 by 54R, has a 15 round detachable curved box magazine. I might have to shorten this a little bit, but I also just kind of lopped off half of the front compensator of a SVT40. Here's a normal SVT40 that came decaled, and it has the longer compensator you can see there. And then I just shortened it by quite a bit, and then just painted extra over it. And then I cut off the main SVT40 magazine. This was just SVT40, and I cut it off, and then I just glued a curved magazine, typically what you find in a Type 100 SMG, at least on Brickmania. I just cut the attaching part off of the magazine, and then I glued it to where the former magazine was on this one. But I actually really like this. I'm going to try and use it in a future stop motion, whether it be a short or a long one, I don't know yet. And then these last three I have are all American. So honestly, this one's kind of just cheating. It's just a normal M1, sorry. This one is kind of just cheating. It's just a normal M1 Garand. I think it's pronounced Garand, but you'll catch me pronouncing it either way. But so it's just a normal one of those, and then I painted and glued like a K-bar combat knife, and I glued that to the front, and I think it works really well. A minifigure can still hold it with both hands right here and right here, and it'll be fine. The only problem is this lamp I have right here is very hot, so if I have this for too long, the knife will start to sway and swivel like that. And of course, these are chambered in 30-06, 8-round detachable magazine, 8-round clip, which will eject itself after the last shot is fired, giving that distinctive ping sound. So yeah, M1 Garand with custom bayonet. And then this one, these two are the first guns that I ever really modified. So this first one was a FG42, and I cut off the front sight post right here, and I also cut off the scope that was on the back. And again, I put an old Type 100 magazine, a curved one. I put it in where it should normally go. And this gives you a Johnson 1941 light machine gun. So these were used by the U.S. Marines, typically the Marine Raiders and the Paramarines. They were also used by Canadian Special Forces in Europe. They are chambered in 30-06. They have a 20-round detachable curved box magazine, of course. And it was essentially, people wanted something that was lighter and more accurate and easier to take down than the Browning automatic rifle, aka the BAR. And what they came up with was the Johnson light machine gun. The guy who designed this also helped design AR-15s and the M60 to an extent. And he also designed a rifle that was not adopted formally by the Army, but was adopted by the U.S. Marines during World War II, called the Johnson Rifle, 1941 Johnson Rifle. But yeah, so Johnson light machine gun. You've probably seen this in my Peleliu stop motion, and of course just the all-American gun stop motion I did a couple weeks back. But yes, 30-06, 20-round magazine. And then this one is a custom M2 carbine, M2 carbine, either or, tomato. And I just bought a 30-round slight curve box magazine, and then yeah, you can definitely tell this is the first one I made. So I cut off the original M1 magazine, and then I glued this on, and it is not very good. But, I mean, it is what it is. So, towards the end of World War II, the U.S. was encountering the STG-44, and they thought, hey, we should try making an assault rifle. So what they did was, at least in World War II, the majority of M2 carbines were converted M1s, which just had 15-round detachable box magazines usually. But they also had these, which had 30-round detachable box magazines, and they also had a heat shield on top, which I need to paint that on. But these are chambered in 30 carbine, which is a little weaker than what is considered a standard assault rifle type category, or assault rifle type category cartridge. But it's still more than an SMG. So was this an SMG? Was this an assault rifle? That's really just up for personal debate. Again, semi or fully automatic. The full auto on this was about 775 rounds per minute. Johnson rifle is going to give you about between 500 and 600 rounds a minute. AVS 36 was semi and fully automatic. The Johnson was too, but the AVS 36 fired at whopping 800 rounds a minute, maybe even closer to 850, and firing what is essentially a 308 cartridge. A lot of people who have shot this can compare it to a full auto M14, which if you've done your research, you know that it never needed to happen. It never needed to be full auto, which was the same for this. These work great as semi-autos, but as full autos, especially in the cold, they just did not perform. Of course, M1 Garand, semi-automatic, and LS26, select fire, but it was a light machine gun, and full auto was about 600, 650 rounds a minute. So yeah, that is going to do it for all of my custom weapons that I've made, and just try and keep an eye out for them in stop motions that I'm doing or that I have done. But yeah, and that is just a quick summary and history lesson of all the custom guns that I have made. Yeah, let me know what you think of this video, if I should do more videos like this, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching.